This young man was only 25 years old when he developed the first vehicle in history with engines completely integrated into the wheels. But how did he do it, and why did these engines fail? In 1900, when the world was just awakening to the age of the automobile, a young Ferdinand Porsche revolutionized mobility with the Lohner-Porsche Mixte Hybrid, the first vehicle in history with motors completely integrated into the wheels. This was no mere experiment, but a radical vision of electric mobility that anticipated today's trends by almost a century. Ferdinand Porsche, who was then working for Jacob Lohner and Company when he conceived a concept that would challenge all the automotive design principles of his time. His innovation was not simply to add an electric motor, but to integrate it completely within the front wheels, creating what is technically known as an in-wheel propulsion system. Each front wheel housed a completely independent electric motor. Each generated approximately 2.5 horsepower, which seemed insignificant by today's standards, but represented an extraordinary technological leap. Power was distributed directly to each wheel, completely eliminating traditional transmission systems. The hybrid system was even more amazing. A 4-horsepower combustion engine acted as a generator, powering 2 electric motors at the wheels. This onboard generation concept is exactly the same principle used by modern hybrids more than a century later, anticipating modern hybrid architecture. The battery, a critical component, used lead-acid cells, the most advanced technology of the time. It stored enough energy to provide range in all-electric mode, a revolutionary concept for 1900. The weight of the batteries and motors was strategically distributed to maintain a low center of gravity and optimize stability. The first prototype, presented at the Paris World Exposition in 1900, generated absolute amazement. By having independent motors at each front wheel, the vehicle could implement traction and stability control concepts decades before electronics made them possible. Each wheel could receive exactly the power it needed, a concept that today is standard in high-end vehicles. It could reach speeds of up to 35 kilometers per hour in all-electric mode, with a range of approximately 50 kilometers. The total weight of the vehicle was around 1,200 kilograms, a significant achievement considering the available technology. Porsche produced approximately 300 units of the mixed hybrid, mainly for elite customers and technology enthusiasts. Each vehicle was virtually a one-off, built to the highest standards of precision craftsmanship. Production costs were enormous, which limited its mass adoption, but this was not the main reason for its failure. We will go into this in more detail in a moment. Cooling the in-wheel motors was another technical challenge that Porsche masterfully solved. It developed an integrated ventilation system that dissipated the heat generated by the electric motors, preventing component degradation. The technological limitations of the time, primitive batteries and low-performance motors, prevented the concept from becoming popular. Today, more than a century later, automakers are implementing technologies that Porsche anticipated with its Lohner-Porsche, and several companies are betting on in-wheel motor technology, something we talk about in the video in the description.